We're going. I think we're here finally.
Yeah.
Finally
uh,
together.
are we live on your page? Because I don't see
Yes,
it on your
I'm
page.
just
Okay.
checking. Yeah, there we are.
Oh,
No, we're
there I
not.
see it.
Wait.
Okay. Yep. For some, it's there. We're like lower down than. All right. I'm sharing it now.
Oh, there
Okay.
we are. Great.
There we go. We got this.
We
We
got this.
got
We've kept our cool.
Yeah.
We're all good. We've been through the trials and the tribulations. Come out stronger.
We will not allow the resistance to win.
We will not. This is basically what we wanted to come on here and talk about, actually, wasn't it? What it means to really ride the feminine and to really surrender to when things aren't necessarily going as planned on the surface, yet underneath there's a lot moving.
There's definitely been so much moving, quote unquote, under the surface the last couple of weeks, hasn't there?
Mhm. Yeah, really thinking about actually today and the energy of today and the energy of the last couple of days, and actually inviting those of you who watch this just to share if you've been feeling big changes, if you've been feeling shifts in your energy, let us know because we have.
Oh my gosh. I feel like I just keep shifting. I'm like, oh wow, that was such a massive shift. And then I'm like right back into, into the next one. Ooh-wee.
Rolling out the orgasmic
Mm-hmm.
birthing. We're doing a lot of birthing, the feminine leaders who have been working with really embodying their feminine, we're birthing a lot right now. We are birthing a lot of light, and I feel we're birthing our way as well. Whatever it is that our soul is here to do right now, it's becoming very clear. And that is what my experience is. It's like everything's clearing, and this is the way. Just keep leading with the heart, keep leading with the heart, keep leading with the heart.
Yeah, I've definitely felt very similar with just our own paths really opening up and our own real innate genius really surfacing and really birthing and coming into the physical. And then what I'm experiencing on a collective level is this like rewriting the woman. You know, I've been really seeing a lot of like the belief structures of the woman, particularly recently. It's been like, the breaking apart the beliefs that women need to be sustained outside of themselves by a man or by an external source, so that self-sourcing has been a really, really big one. And that's not just to women, that's both men and women, but it's the inner feminine, that belief structure that the feminine needs to outsource herself.
Yeah, really, really powerful. So much alignment. Hey, I'm just saying hi on the Facebook because I can see. Hey, Dale. It's lovely you're here. For the feminine-led women. Um, yeah, just there's so much newness. And I feel like those of us who've been walking this path for a long time are really feeling the the like wow, okay, this work is so powerful. It's like the next level of embodying, like you said, our self-sourced love is coming from within us to really create this new structure of what wealth really is. And I know that we've talked about this before, the embodiment of wealth and the energetics of wealth and deep kind of sustainable nourishment. it for me is definitely within the feminine, it's within really understanding how to be in that nourished place.
Yes, the word nourishment has been such a biggie in my space, and that receiving of that nourishment. You know, it was back in like 20, I think it was 2019 or early 2020, I started to get, hits around the financial structures are going to like collapse. And, you know, I didn't really understand what it meant. I understood, but at the same time, didn't really know how that would show up. And I really feel like we're in that right now of the falseness of wealth and the falseness of success and all these false ways that we have again really seeked sought our sourcing outside of ourselves, and all of that seems to be turning back in of like that wealth doesn't come from my business, it doesn't come from my company, it doesn't come from however you get your money. That wealth and that success is really innate into our being, and the beauty of understanding that is that it can never be taken from you, right? Like when you believe that you are deeply nourished in all times, no matter what the appearance, no matter what is happening in your physical reality, that can't be taken from you. And that is just so incredibly beautiful and deeply powerful.
I mean, like, wow, especially saying about the the whole structure is falling, and to just like feel you say that, I'm like, like, oh, that is what is happening, and that is what we've been preparing for. And I mean, let's talk a little bit about what it's like to have been going through journeying the feminine path and not seeing a lot of change, not actually seeing a lot of like tangible change, like feeling it within us, and really, being devoted to knowing that that was the right way for us, but not necessarily seeing that much change. I mean, how much devotion and trust and resilience does that take? My God.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, my experience has been that continuous requirement of surrender, right? Because I think we all kind of like, okay, I'm surrendered and here I'm doing it, I'm doing the do. And then you're like, all right, where is it? Is it here yet?
I'm doing the do. I'm doing the do. I'm here.
I'm showing up. Where is it?
Yeah. Yeah. Like really, yes. And I feel like that kind of instant gratification though that we're programmed into is also that sense of that's where the wealth is. It's that instant gratification of the thing that I get to have. So that really sitting with the attachment, and that like, where's my thing now? I've done this, so where's the reward? But it's so deeply programmed into us as children too. If you go far back as like how we were taught as kids, if you do this, you'll get something good.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I feel like that's what I've been doing. It's interesting that you say attachment because that was another message I got back in 2021, the fall of 20, it was like the end of summer, fall of 2021. It was like, you're going to need to let go of anything that you're attached to. Otherwise, you will lose it. And, I was like, oh, I'm good. I'm not attached to anything. you know, not a humble and surrendered space. There was a little bit of ego there, in all honesty. And, I got smacked. I got smacked fucking hard, which was so interesting because I was literally giving that message. I was like, you're going to be smacked hard if you're not letting go. And yeah, the joke was on me. Because I did have attachments, and those attachments were revealed, and I did lose. I lost things that I really, again, had been placing, self sourcing outside of myself,
Mm.
and in really big ways. I mean, I just had things like totally collapse, and the message was just like, you are being offered, you are being invited to really like turn back towards yourself
Mm,
and deepen right now, right here, into your own being, into your own trust, into your own connection to all that is, and really let go of this.
mm,
And it's been going on for like a year, and I feel like I'm really coming out of it. And I feel like it's one of those circumstances where when you go through it, it's like you wouldn't ever exchange that for anything ever in life. As you're going through it, you just really see the value in it. Again,
mm,
there's just such a deepness that I'm feeling where there's so much peace within me, and I am self sourcing. And so it just doesn't matter what happens externally. I do feel deeply nourished
mm,
and supported and loved.
mm. But those big smacks are not fun, are they? Let's be honest. It's like tearing away. It's like the rug being whipped from underneath you, and then you're going in, and that's the way you're going because it's happening. And I feel like for those of us who are really here to walk this path, is we signed up for this and we don't really have a choice. Like I do believe that deeply for me because I think about people when people ask me, well, how did you keep going? It's like, well, I just knew this was the only way, and this is the only way for me because it it has been my whole life. It's just one thing after the other, like initiation after the next, just going in there and you build your muscles for shedding the things that aren't really true as much as that is challenging.
Yeah, I always do the same exact statement. Like, I don't, I always say, of course, there's a choice, and yet I have no choice, or I
Yes,
had no choice. And
yes.
because it just feels so strong. Like, yes, I could go the other direction, and there's no part of me that desires that. It feels like this is exactly what I need to do.
Yeah.
It's funny. I don't know if you know this story, and unfortunately, I don't remember the goddess. I think she's a Greek goddess, and I was told this story right before that all started happening to me. I was told about this goddess that she descends down into darkness, and she
Yes.
takes off her crown, and she leaves all of her jewels on her way as she descends down into like this cavern, and it's completely pitch black, and she's put up on this hook, and basically her entire body is stripped off of her bones.
Mm,
Everything is taken, and then she is recreated in a crystalline structure,
mm,
and she gets to come back up the stairs into the light. And it's just such a beautiful understanding of the descending down and the letting go of, the bejewels of the external, but not just that. It's letting go of, your like literally your body and your being and
mm.
all the identification that we carry so
Yeah.
intrinsically within our cells and our DNA. Like, we have to let it go on that much of a deep level for the transformation to really truly be, right? Like, it's not about just changing your clothes and being like, yay, I'm a different person. Like,
Yeah.
no, you got to get deep down in there and let that shit go from a genetic level.
Mm, yeah. Yeah, the descent of Anana in the underworld. It's
Yes.
I love when you were describing that. I was just really seeing it and how many times that happens, and how many times within the cycle, if we're connecting with the cycles, the death of the winter is really that deep, that darkness when we're stripped of all life, and then we come back up where we are now, coming back up into the spring and really like adorning ourselves with the newness of birth and expression and fullness and ripeness. And I really feel like that is where we're at, both seasonally but also energetically. This rebirth is just, I mean, each year the rebirth at this time of year has just got more potent. It's like, the more that we tune into Gaia, the more that we tune into the earth, and the more that we link up with the earth again, it's like we're really able to bring through the energetics of that rebirth and really, birth more that wants to come forth because we are, emptier vessels for what wants to come through instead of what we're thinking we're bringing, or maybe we're not even thinking, we're just bringing the shit because we haven't been letting it go. We haven't been letting it die.
Yeah, and I think it's so beautiful how you bring up the seasons, and I think that's really important for for everybody to hear, but I think particularly women because I feel like, we've been in this very masculated space where we believe that we should just be going all the time. And, even in like the understanding of the creative spirit, there's like this thing that we believe that you should just always be in this
On.
massive flow and go. And like, that's just not how the cycles move, just like the tides. I always say the tides because they come in and they go out. And sometimes they're really drastic movements, and other times they're so subtle. And I feel like it's so important for us to really give ourselves that awareness and that like that compassion, that like, hey, I'm in an ebb, or hey, we're going into winter. But
Yeah.
even as we're in spring, even as we're in summer, there's going to be ebbs and flows. And like, it's okay to be in an ebb. It's okay to not be on the go all the time. And actually, when we're in those ebbs and when we're in those cycles, whether it's winter or those ebbs, there's this deep nurturing and nourishment that happens. It's like charging the battery, right? So that when we're ready to flow, whoo, we watch out, world, like we flow so beautifully and so powerfully because we've had that time to recharge.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, and again, we are not working against the law of
Yes.
nature, the energetics of nature, which is such a struggle. Hence why we feel the fucking struggle, because we're actually struggling to
Yes.
push against the energy that is here, that is happening. So when we go with that, like you said, yeah, well, okay, right now, this is the contraction before we all birth together. It's like everyone line up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how powerful is that when we can really understand that deeply in our bodies as women and to be like, yeah, we're birthing here. And I feel like that's what we're being called to do right now. That's why we're here showing up, actually, is because we're going through a collective birth, and the women who are really have been connecting and know what's happening within their bodies, and for the women who don't, like, we're all here to like hold hands and be like, right, it's time to like push. It's time to
Yes.
bring through the
Yes.
medicine and
Mm-hmm.
really do this together. And I feel like along the path of the feminine is we have had to piece things together because she's been nowhere to be found. She's been
Mm-hmm.
hidden. And so for, those of us who've been doing the work for years, it's been like following breadcrumbs, like gathering up all these breadcrumbs where it's like, I don't know that. Okay, I'm going over here now and not seeing any of it on the surface. Like, where is the fucking goddess? Where is the goddess? I'm like searching for the goddess and obviously seeing, nature, which for me has always shown me the goddess, but this understanding of me as a woman in the world, like, where's the goddess in our culture? Where is the goddess, like, standing there saying, yeah, this is the power of the fucking mother. Here's a representation of that. And just like going through and finding that out for ourselves is such a powerful journey, isn't it? And I'm so kind of passionate and inspired to hear, how women have really found their way to the goddess, because we have been like remembering and digging under and finding and connecting with our soul, has been downloading things and teaching us and places to go and people to connect with and things to see. But it's been such a wild journey of the underground, hasn't it? Like just becoming that like animal sniffing out all the things we need to piece it together.
Yeah, I love how you bring up the goddess. Because when you think about it, there's a lot of other societies. I mean, that was like the Greek story, right? And there's a lot of Hindu and other traditions that talk about goddesses, and Western society does not talk about a female, goddess in that way, and she's just been like forgotten. And what I love right now, like what we're doing and what I see other people, other women doing, is we're like, those of us who've been following the breadcrumb trails, as you so beautifully put, we're seeing the goddess in ourselves, and then we're seeing it in other women, and so we are kind of like coming together to be like, this is the goddess, and through that, I feel like she's starting to really reveal herself through us. But and
Mm.
individually, absolutely. And when we come together in this way, I feel like the goddess energy really loves this
Mm.
collaboration of the woman and coming together, and like, I get this image of like arms band together, and like we're doing this together, and I got you and you got me, and like this deep energy of love and support that I'm really, really feeling. I'm really feeling with other women like you and other ladies who are really stepping into this space. And it's not only is it like immensely powerful, it is deeply nourishing. Like when I spend time with these women, I'm like, oh my God, I feel so nourished, and they're feeling the same thing. And we're just all banding together. And I think this is the way, that she is revealing herself on our planet, is like through us, which is, such a humbling and like awe-inspiring thing to actually realize and to take part in, to be a
Yeah.
part of.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I just love how you said that. I feel like it's all fucking coming up now. It's coming to the surface because also when we go through this journey of trying to find ourselves and linking arms with other women. There's so much there around the sister wound and around the wound of the woman to woman that is so fucking gnarly that it can be so difficult to find that like heart space, can't it? When we're like, we're triggering ourselves, we're triggering one another, we're just like, fuck, this is all just a lot for my nervous system. This is all very new, like, you know, going through that as well, there's a lot of devotion when we are, again, shaping something that hasn't been shown to us. We're shaping something that hasn't been shown to us. And we only know through feeling of a remembrance. And so now I'm like, this is just so powerful that finally the time is here where we're embodied enough in our own shit that we can sit with one another really deeply in our own shit and not be like triggered into, I'm gonna, this is too much. So that we're really meeting in our hearts to really get into that deep, yummy place and see ourselves in each other and really, really, be there for each other.
Yeah, the sisterhood wound was a biggie for me, for sure. I had some very deep wounding that happened, betrayal of some very important women to me in my early life, that just really set this thing of like, all right, women aren't safe. Like if they're just gonna like betray me, like, all right, I'll just hang out with guys. And for a lot of my life, I would hang out with the guys. They were very easy. I could get along with them. I didn't feel like this weird, backstabbing energy. And but then, that just created like this bigger wall between me and women, and in my own femininity as well. And so this journey for me it was so challenging for me to really heal those deep wounds, and the deep wounds I had with my own mother, and really allowing myself the availability of that vulnerability within myself once again, because I had shut it down so hard. And it was like, no, I have to trust that this is safe, that it's safe to open this back up, that it's safe to be vulnerable again. And, it was again that self trust. But what I'm experiencing now because of it and like the women that I'm connecting with, there's no sense of like competition. There's no sense of like, oh my gosh, like I have to watch my back. I mean, it's just this deep love and support, and like what I have been yearning for like my whole life, even yearning for with my mother, and I that I didn't feel like I had.
Mm. Yeah, I really, really hear you. Really, really hear you. And also the part of kind of burying yourself in, being around men, just kind of just losing yourself. Well, that's what happened to me. I just kind of, okay, well, this is it. This is where I am now. I've kind of given up because the pain of the sister wounding was so big for me all the time, and not feeling safe in my own body. And I'm really feeling that was always being triggered with women. I mean, very few good friends I had growing up, but most of the time it was it was like this discomfort, or I was just on alert, like you said, just like
Yeah.
this is not safe. Like I'm just gonna be ready to run if I need to, ready to flight. Um, and yeah, the deeper we do the embodiment work in ourselves as well, the more that we're able to really feel that connection with women and men. And it's
Hmm.
both, isn't it? It's really, because I've had a lot of wounding with the masculine, a lot of wounding with the masculine. And it's really just, it's being able to just take up space in the body and feel like, I don't have to run, or I don't have to get away from the situation. Like, how can I be in myself and be able to move with whatever, like you said at the beginning, to move with whatever comes up in life? Like, how can I feel so rooted in my being that I can move with what's coming up and not just want to get the hell out and go upstairs? Which was a big one for me for many years as well.
Yeah, and I feel like that availability to really be our authentic self, because like when you were saying that, I was just really feeling the throat and like the
Yeah.
constriction when I used to be around other women of like, like not feeling like I could just be me. Like I had to like portray something. And what was coming through when you were saying all of that was like the Salem witch trials and the witch trials that happened all over the planet, right? Because women were throwing each other under the bus to save their own lives. And like it was like if you turn somebody else in, you won't get prosecuted. And it's like that started this whole like I got to throw you under the bus so that I'm safe. I mean like and then the deep rooting that occurred through the masculine of then we're always in this space of like competition and throwing each other under the bus with regards to men and that whole relationship, and it's just so distorted. And so like what I was saying before about we're really getting down to like the genetic level of how these things have been passed down generation after generation after generation, and we're really pulling it out from those long lineages and saying like, you know what, we're no longer believing that we have to compete against each other, that we have to throw each other under the bus, and that who we are in our innate being, because back then it was like their whoever that was, their witchiness or their non-witchiness. They would not all of them were witches, but like that innate expression, most authentic you is safe, and like I get to be me and I get to act me and talk me and walk me.
So feeling it. Oh my god, that's so
And it's safe, and then again with women like you, it's like not only is it safe, but we're like seeing each other, we're like, oh my god, I see you, you beautiful, beautiful goddess. Like, yes, 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 speak, be, express, I'm here with you, I love you. And it's just so like, oh, gets me.
That was so good. You really hit the nail on the head with that. I was feeling like I was a kid, where you're like, I want to talk me, I want to be, I am me, I am me. And these moments of just like, it's so true, and it's just so beautiful. And also, what was coming up when you were talking about that was the persecution
Mhm.
persecution of speaking your truth. And for me, in my DNA, that has been a huge one to heal. And it's still something that comes up for me. Am I allowed to say that? What's going to happen if I say that? Who's going to do something to me? I'm not safe. Someone's going to, come from behind. All of these things that have come up for me around persecution and around, you know, as humans, women and men, around persecuting one another, and that being like just the way that it's normal. Someone says something that you don't like and you just laugh at them. That's persecution in a form. And so it's very like deeply like ingrained, isn't it? Something that we have to like really become aware of. Like, also, where am I buying into that too? And where am I also offering that to other people? And really, for me, like, the more that I am speaking, the better. I feel like this is why right now I'm feeling called to show up and speak a lot. Like, just let's speak more. Let's get more comfortable talking. Let's get more comfortable just generally being in space together. Let's get more comfortable about letting whatever wants to come out come out. And that is the way to really heal that fear of what's going to happen to me. Because it's so easy to stay in fear, isn't it? It's so easy to stay in that freeze and, oh, well, I won't show up or I won't share this because it's easier that way. But the more that we can practice it, the more that we can open up. I feel like that's what we're going to move into with activation now. That feels very good.
Yeah, and I just want to briefly say, and I mean, I love everything you said about the persecution and the awareness of where am I persecuting, because it's so important to see ourselves in both sides. And it's so subtle too, it's yes, it's what we're saying, but it's also like what are we creating or what are we not creating for that fear of persecution, of like, are you trying to write a book? Are you trying to create something in your life that you just keep kind of touching up against and then retracting from? And it can be, we can distract ourselves with other, oh, I can't do it because I've got all these other things going on. We make up all these excuses, we make up all these reasons why we're not allowing ourselves our full creative expression. And just like you said, the more we practice and just practice and practice and show up, it's those tiny little steps that really give us that personal power.
And the messiness, fucking permission to
Yeah.
be messy. This is the feminine, isn't it? Like,
Mm.
really just letting it out. Permission to be messy. You are not trying to get somewhere. You are not trying to get a gold star or like a bonus. It's like, just get messy and get really comfortable with being in that creative mess that is going to free you so deeply on so many levels, whether it's just getting a paintbrush out and just doing that with color. It, honestly, that and taking those steps, that is
Oh my
going to help
God.
so much.
Yeah, I hope everybody hears that because I feel like that is such an important thing, what you just said about, I love that word messy because it's not even about failure and it's like messy. Like
Yeah.
just what you said with the paint, I had to do that because I was like all in my head about painting. And I was like, fine, I'm just gonna like literally like flop color and like make no sense. I'm not trying to create anything. And it is that messy because the feminine is messy. She can be all over the place emotionally. She can be all over the place. And it's not about this like clean cut, like we're going to start here and we're going to like cleanly end up there. She's like, no, my God, are you serious? I've got to like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. It's, I love that with the paintbrush. She's like flinging paint all over the place. You're like, just let me be. I don't know what's happening today.
Yeah, don't give me any rules, okay? Just
Yes.
don't. And that is the place to really set yourself free, isn't it? I love love it. I love what's come through. Thank you, everyone who's watching. And we'll get back to the comments afterwards. But I really feel like moving into this embodied activation of really feeling into that freedom, that liberation, that creative life force that is yours. That is yours to embody and to move. It's no one else's. And that feels really important to say right now. No one else has control over you. No one else. All of this body, this energy, your beingness is you, is yours, and you get to choose how you want to move, create, feel, be, all of it.
Yes, it is yours. It is yours. The permission to own your power, the permission to own your flow, that nobody knows your flow, your rhythm, your cycles, your movement better than you. It is yours. That permission to really own it as your own.
I'm really going to take you into your body now. So, wherever you are, just really feeling those words and giving yourself permission to close down your eyes and just explore your body right now as you you let your body guide you. Let go of your mind, let go of whatever it is that you're thinking about right now. Put it to one side and just come into your body, connect with your breath. Breathe in the way that feels good to you, whether that's slow and long, or it's quicker and more activated. Just feel into what feels good to you. And allowing some movement, some opening of your shoulders, some rolling of your neck, really making space, creating space as you connect with your body. Breathing a little bit deeper. Feeling the breath moving through every cell. And you want to really feel like you're drawing the breath up from the earth, from your connection to the earth, from Mother, really drawing it up into every corner, every crevice of your body, of your being, welcoming all of you. However you're feeling, however this breath is moving you, really welcoming yourself. And then moving down, connecting with your hips, circling your hips, circling your hips and connecting with your pelvic bowl, connecting with your womb, connecting with your pussy, really feeling her as you move, as you drop deeper with the breath into your womb, really filling up your pelvic bowl with the breath, visualizing your breath fully opening up your womb space. Softening your belly as you breathe, expanding your belly. Allowing for any sound to come out, any sighing, any just whatever wants to come through. And sinking deeper, feeling your sit bones on the floor, sinking deeper into Mother, connecting deep, deep down through the earth into the core of the Mother, connecting with her. And then breathing here all the way up through your body, really taking up space through your womb, through your pelvic bowl. having that invitation to allow your expression to come through with that beautiful permission and taking up space and exploring your voice, your tone, your whatever it is that wants to come through. What is coming through with all of this is it's time to fucking take up space, to take it up, like really fully.
We can do that with our breath, can't we? Just breathing in and using that breath to expand, to take up space. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the mother is here within us. We don't need to hide. We don't need to shut down. We don't need to silence ourselves. We can be it. We can show it. We can embody it. We can expand in it. We can explore it. All of you is welcome. All of the mother is welcome. Ah.
I just want to be in that space all day long.
Ah. Isn't it amazing to feel how healing it feels when you're just doing it and you're being it and you're taking up space and how to hold that because then it can feel like, oh, now I need to go back into being normal, quote unquote. This is something that we've been talking about, isn't it? And how do we hold more of the mother within us? We know this feminine. How can we hold it instead of doing it in spaces and then shutting it up again or closing off to it? Like, how can we just be really bringing this to all the spaces that we find ourselves in, into every area of our life?
Yeah, and it's so easy to try to mentalize things, or like, okay, I feel this energy, and then we want to understand it. And like, okay, how do I apply this? And we want to like create these steps and create all this. And that's not the feminine, she just wants to come through. And it's like that allowance and that deep trust that okay, it's just gonna come through and she's gonna create it. I just have to let go. I have to let go. I have to let go and allow her to express. I mean, even like the container here where you and I come together, it's like we don't know what's going to show up. We don't even know like how do we create this together, and we both come like, okay, we're just going to show up and we're going to allow, because if we try to like create some structure, that's just not going to work for the mother. She's going to be like,
Oh, like this is the structure though, isn't it? The container that we're in, the holding and
Yes, the
that
womb.
feeling of, yeah, really, really embodying that, yeah, within our own wombs, and how to really inhabit that is to really inhabit our own wombs and seat of power, seat of creation, really be in our wombs, sitting in them, taking up space, anchoring in them. Mm. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you everyone for joining and being a part of it. Um, yeah, any questions, let us know. Anything that's moving. This is what we do, isn't it? This is what we do. Really activating the fullness of self through this incredible capacity for the feminine and love and truth and being being who you are.
Yes. And we're going to be doing another one of these on Instagram
Yes.
next, not next week, the week after, right?
Yeah.
What day was that? Do you remember what day that was? The 27th, I think? No.
Did we say Monday?
Yes,
Yes.
Monday.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So
We'll
not
let
next
everyone
Monday,
know.
yeah, the following Monday. And
Mm.
also, we are creating a container together. It's going to be through invitation. But if this is something that you feel inspired, you feel called, you feel magnetized to, then most definitely reach out to either one of us. If you feel like this container that we're creating just lights you up and you want to be a part of it, then definitely, definitely reach out to us.
Mm. Yeah. Oh, it's a powerful one. Oh, okay. Love, love. Thank you. Mm.
Thank you. Thank you to everybody.
Bye.